go by the name of Ferrari Simmons.
I go by the name, BT.
And I'm JoJo Alonzo.
LL Cool J in the building.
Hey!
What up?
Welcome to the BallerAlert show.
Glad to be here, baby. Thanks for having me.
Listen, we was having a great conversation off camera, and we was talking about a lot of stuff that we wouldn't expect legends to be hip on. Because I did not believe when you said that you
manage all your pages.
Yeah.
All your platforms.
100%.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
why do you manage your own platforms?
Well, I mean, the real reason is because, first of all, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm a nerd, you know what I mean? Okay. Like, so I'm interested in shit like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The second part is that I want to be able to know what's going on, and I want people to hear from me directly if I want to do it. And thirdly, like, you know, when you start respectfully, like a bunch of social media companies and all that, they don't necessarily get your voice. So I don't need like a 14-year-old girl from Michigan trying to put verbiage together that she thinks is gonna sound like LL. Yeah. What's up, dog?
Yeah.
You know, this is the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Now, are you monetizing your pages?
Huh?
Are you monetizing your pages?
I don't really well, I mean, that's a yes and a no, right? Okay. Because I mean, my life, I'm monetized, dog. Like, right. I'm pretty monetized.
Say less.
So the short answer is, do I focus on the monetization of the pages themselves? No, I don't. Okay. Do I have like little merch shops on some of the pages? Of course. Right. But do I like go out of my way to, no, I do not. But I'm not in it for that per se. But you know what? That's not a bad idea for me to focus on that.
Because Facebook,
like that's actually good. Like, I probably need to do that.
I'm just a radio personality, but I get a nice check from Facebook. I'm pretty sure a LL Cool J check
got a lot of
monthly from Facebook.
No.
You can make more money.
Be pretty nice.
You know how much money is enough money?
I'm like, what?
More.
Right.
There you go.
Right?
Monetize all of them. Every single one of them. Especially TikTok.
Yo, she came alive when we started talking about that monetization.
Listen.
Monetize them all.
Yeah, all of them. I need you to get as much money as you can get. No, because social media is paying.
Listen, I'm game for it. I'm game.
All right,
for
so I really wanted to ask you. I just want to start with your name. Where did the name come from?
Well, I was 16. I was in a crew, and like all the dudes had names that kind of like applied to going after females. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like the Super Lover, this one, and my man Playboy Mikey D. And so I made the LL was Ladies Love Cool James. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, our thing. We wanted to,
But Ladies Love,
we wanted more than a participation trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really wanted to be in the game. You know what I mean? So.
And I know you were one of the very first people to get a record deal at a very young age, and a time where like it was so hard to get deals and be in the music industry. You're the pioneer. I say the pioneer for music.
So
correct
like I'll make it even easy. So I was the first artist on Def Jam, right? Okay. So we started the label. Def Jam was a production company, and Rick Rubin, one of the founder of the logo and the actual label. It was on a street. The name of the label was Streetwise Party Time, and it was Def Jam Productions. I bought a song by this artist back then. His name was T. La Rock, still is. And I ended up sending in a demo, and we ended up starting the label Def Jam, and I was the first artist. Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin started the label, and I was the flagship artist. So all of the things that came out after that, all of the artists that you can think of that were on Def Jam were birthed from that moment. And I started that. I was 16 years old when we started the label, and I got on. So, and then it was independent. Then we signed a deal with CBS and got major distribution and things.
Thank you for saying that, because I didn't know that it was independent at first. I thought.
Oh yeah, no, it was completely independent. Yeah. See, when I started, there was no hip hop industry. You know what I'm saying?
So you basically created the genre.
No, I definitely was a fan of the genre from the beginning. So I became a fan at 8 years old, right? But before they made rap records, before they were records, it was all on tapes and on mixtapes and like what we would call blend tapes today. You would catch them at the parks and stuff like that, right? So I became a fan at 8. When I was 11 or 12, I started writing, right? And then when I was 14, I started trying to make a demo. And then at age 16, we started Def Jam. But there was labels like Sugar Hill, and there were labels like Enjoy, and there were labels like Tommy Boy, which were early. But Def Jam was the first label that in the modern era, because it's kind of like art. There's modern, postmodern, there's contemporary, right? Well, Def Jam ushered in a modern era for the time. You know what I'm saying? Like all those other labels were like pre. You know what I'm saying? Like they were contemporaries, and then all of a sudden Def Jam ushered in the modern era. You dig?
No,
So you said
100%.
like at 8 years old is when you got the love of music. So who inspired you? Who were you listening to?
So there was the Treacherous Three, there was the Fearless Four, there was the Force MCs, there was the Cold Crush, which is like JDL, Almighty KG, Grandmaster Caz. There was, there was, the Force MCs, Mercury and all of them from Staten Island. There was the fantastic Romantic Five, Whip a Whip. There was all these different artists that never really recorded. Then there was also Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five and the Treacherous Three and the Crash Crew and the Fearless Four and Zulu Nation and all these different groups that were in this small world in New York, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we were just kind of exposed to it, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm like a kind of a hybrid of sorts, because I was a fan at the very beginning, you know what I'm saying? And also got to record very young. So because of that, like my chronological contemporaries would be like Jay and Pac and Biggie. Chronologically, from an age standpoint, it's like Jay and Pac and Big and all them. But from a rap standpoint, I'm like 10, 15 years earlier. You know what I'm saying? In terms of hip hop, because I started so young. You dig what I'm saying? Like I was but I just wasn't a kiddie rapper.
Right.
I started very young, but I didn't come out as a kiddie rapper, so nobody ever saw me as that. You know what I mean?
And I think we can all agree that hip hop is totally different now than it was back then. How do you feel about hip hop in today's age?
I think I don't have any issues with it. I think that, see, the key is that anything that you do is going to evolve and change, right? So the question becomes, here's the difference. Here's the difference with hip hop. It's funny. It's a big word, but it's the democratization that's taking place. So what does that mean? Basically what it means is that now everybody can play in the NBA, right? It's like today in the NBA, Steph and KD and Bronny. Everybody you could think of that you love, they are in a world, they're in a walled garden. And you can't play in the NBA just because you want to play.
That's facts.
Right? Okay, even if you bounce the ball. See, well, in hip hop, when I first started, it was like that. It was like you can't play unless you at a certain level or a certain skill set and all that. That changed. The internet changed that. So now anybody who can bounce a ball can play. Is that a bad thing? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It depends. Like an artist like Soulja Boy wouldn't have happened when we first started. That wouldn't have been possible, that story.
Now how Soulja Boy catch a stray?
No, it ain't a straight. Boom, gotcha. He liked that shit. Look at him. I'm going viral.
I did it first.
He going viral, y'all.
No, I was really just thinking damn, what's Soulja Boy going
No, but you know what? The reason why I use him as an example was because he was the first. And I just talked about him earlier too. Soulja gonna be. I love you, bro.
Wait, you was talking about with JD?
No, it was with my man Ray. But the thing is, because of the way YouTube happened and the way it emerged, there was no real gatekeepers involved with his success. That's why his story couldn't have happened. He's, he made a great song and, with that first song, and it went from there and all that. But that was the thing. So it's like those are the differences in hip hop. The other differences in hip hop is that now, the current society, the mindset is much more layered, right? It's a more layered way of thinking. So, when we first started, you make a song, you make a rhyme, you make a record, that was it. Or you make a rhyme, you rap at a party, you make a rhyme, you make a record, maybe you make a video, that's it. Now, like I was saying earlier to somebody, a girl will make a song, then she make a rhyme, then she's thinking about a video, then she's thinking about a brand, and then she's thinking about
a dance,
monetization of pages,
TikTok.
and then she's thinking about a clothing line, and she's
TikTok.
thinking about she's thinking about all of the ways to create an ecosystem around themselves that goes beyond just the craft. So that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? That's like the major difference.
Like it's no structure, basically what you're saying with the new generation.
No, there is structure. I just think
different.
it's a much more, it's a much more savvy way of approaching the art form. What happens though is now the one thing that you got to remember, you know what I'm saying, is that because of that, sometimes, not always, sometimes they don't focus on the craft as much.
Yeah.
Because they're so focused on being, it's like,
brand.
they're so focused on being a star that they maybe not bouncing the ball as much. You feel me?
Gotcha.
They're not playing with the rock as much.
Gotcha.
So, you know, it's a little harder to get a Kyrie because, Kyrie would be like over here worrying about his t-shirt line instead of bouncing the ball. You dig what I'm saying?
Do you think so? We did speak about how we know that hip hop is changing, it's evolving. As an artist, do you feel that you have to do that as well? Like you need to evolve, like what you think the people may want to hear at this day and age. And I bring that up because I know Passion is out, and it gave me nostalgia vibes. It took me back to like real hip hop.
Yeah. So here's my thing with that, right? You can't fake create. You know what I'm saying? Like, not if you want to last. You got to do what you love. Now, what does that mean? That means you got to really pay attention. You got to understand the mindset of the world. You can't make music that reaches the people if you don't understand the people. If you don't know that people are still smelling pissy elevators and you don't know that people are, sleeping on the floor to avoid gunshots, and if you don't understand danger, and if you only living in your star bubble, you're gonna be boring. You're gonna be leading with your wallet, and ultimately that shit is gonna be goofy. You know what I mean? Like, that's where it's gonna end up, right?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of like what people are gonna wanna hear, the way I look at it is like this. If I was 16, if I was 19, if I was 22, I don't really care about your resume. That shit don't matter to me. I respect it, but if you wanna impress me, when I press play, I gotta like that shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's ultimately where, like, all that other shit is cool. It's great. Oh, yeah, go. Yeah, man, you the man. You did this. Yeah, cool. Press play.
Right.
Transparent moment. Transparent moment.
Press play.
Hey, transparent moment. I'm on my way up here. I'm talking to my 16-year-old. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna interview LL today. She was like, oh yeah, I love him as an actor. I'm over there like,
yeah.
he's a rapper.
Right.
She was like, what? I was like, yes. And I had to
love
start
that.
educating her on the music. But listen, salute to you for the 14th album. Can we get some snaps on that, please? You know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody that got 14 albums.
Well, there's artists that have way more than that
14
in hip-hop.
mixtapes. I don't know about no 14 albums.
A lot of people that got 14 albums still not here.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
So-
you still here.
Yeah. You know what, man? You gotta love it, baby. You gotta love that shit.
New song with Rick Ross and
Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday Night Special, and then the Passion joint. And the album is chock full of all kinds of joints. I got a joint.
I can
with
tell you're
Sweeties,
conscious
crazy.
on the dress
Yeah.
code.
Huh?
You on point. Everything was on point. Because I'm analyzing. I'm over here like,
yeah.
is this gonna fit what we talking about right now?
Yeah.
And it
you know.
fits.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, they expect me to have skinny jeans on with my veins and my calves showing. I already know what it is. You know what it is, bro. You know what it is. Yo, listen.
No, I'm just saying. You on point. You on point.
Yo, I already know what it is.
Tap
You
in.
know what they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you know why that happens? Let me tell you what it is. First of all, you know what really happens? People just forget about the world, man. They just forget that the world exists. And they become so self-absorbed that they don't change. They don't adapt. They don't, and the other thing is, see,
Were you ever like that?
no.
Okay.
But there are moments when you are more closed than other moments. You got to be self-aware. You dig?
Who keeps you grounded?
Or you got to have. I mean, the short answer is you can't be an arrogant asshole.
Okay.
I mean, that's the short answer. You got to have faith in God.
I'm gonna ask your staff. Is he an asshole? You know they pay.
I don't
they
think-
get paid
yeah.
good.
I tell
you.
You know they get paid good. That was like this.
I'll answer.
Yeah, look.
I'll answer.
No, you was giving good energy when you
but
walked in the
I'll answer.
building.
I would say 90% of the time I'm not, and then 10% I'm
Where did 10% come from?
10%, huh?
What brings that 10% out?
People asking me that question.
You know, I'm sick of you.
You got one more, JoJo.
Right. That's okay. We gonna be here just a couple more minutes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta be like, listen, you just gotta pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just gotta pay
Facts,
attention
facts.
and care. And also what I was gonna say is, you know, as you mature in your life, right, you still got to be willing to learn from everybody. Some people, and I learned this just from me, like I've had dudes like that I looked at as for quote unquote big homies, right? But maybe in my life, I may have done some things and, you know, surpassed some of the things that they did or took it to another level. But because they're older than me, they think they can't learn from me. That's a big mistake. So when I, you know, if I hear, you know, somebody from a different generation, 2, 3 generations from me talking about, yo, you should check this shit out. I check this shit out. I actually pay attention. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't have an issue with learning from, you know, people. So I think that that's kind of where that disconnect happens a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of dudes like, and even some females, they don't like to learn from people that are younger than them.
That's fact.
They don't like that
facts.
shit. Like,
Well,
and I don't really know why that is, but that's
It's like
a
they
big
be
mistake.
stuck in their ways because it's like a lot of family members too that you would be younger, but you might be more experienced. Like you traveled the world, you seen different type of cultures,
Facts.
and then you try to go back home to the neighborhood.
But
and you
look. I
It's
need
an
to
ego
learn
thing.
now. Look, so I got a little dad stomach.
Oh, here he go.
Okay.
He been
I
waiting
need-
to ask you this.
Man, he
I know
can't
you
wait.
got the washboard. You know what I'm saying?
doing well.
I need some tips, big dog. Like, is it? Are you still working now?
I am.
Because I saw you eat that donut. Are you gonna go work out today because you ate that piece of that donut?
Not because I ate the donut. I'm gonna work out because I want to. But yeah,
Say
I
less,
like to
okay.
eat though. I like to, you know, I'm not gonna be bored.
It's just not going nowhere though. Is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
bro, I eat, but you know, we would really have to look at it. You know, you be Twinkie-ing it up and all crazy, good
He
sandwiches,
just
fried
had a-
chicken, hot sauce, potato salad with pimentos and
So
all
what's
that.
your- what's your
you know,
diet
you be
looks like?
rocking.
Yeah.
What's your
like-
diet like
Yeah,
though?
Right now, just at this particular time when you're asking me, I haven't been eating no meat and chicken. I've just been eating really like fish and shrimp and stuff like that.
You better be listening.
You know what I'm saying?
What I heard when I asked the question.
He just had
varies.
a box of
No, but it
pizza.
varies though. It varies, man. Like steak. When you eat a lot of red meat, what were you talking about? But when you eat a lot of red meat, what were you talking about? When you eat a lot of red meat, you can get interview about. Well, you can get bloated. You know what I'm saying?
I just needed the tip.
You could get bloated with the red meat because red
less.
meat has a lot of creatine in it.
Okay.
So you'll find when you eat a lot of steak, you start gaining. And now this is horrifying.
thank you, bro.
You gotta get. I'll put it the nice way. Clean yourself out, B.
Say less.
Get yourself cleaned out.
Say
and
less.
then you'll find, whoop, all that shit will go down. And
Say less.
So you helping a lot of people because there's a lot of people that's gonna be watching this interview that got that too.
Facts.
Yo, it ain't that bad, my boy. Damn.
Shots fired. Yeah, got that too.
My bad. I ain't mean like,
Nah,
you know
I'm messing
what I'm saying? People trying to, you know, it's the summertime. People trying to slim up and, you know,
Yeah, you gotta be, look, this is what
Unbig
you
that
want.
be able to
back.
take your shirt off at the pool, son.
Big
Yo,
back,
you want to
big
have
back.
stamina your whole life, man. Like, you know, I have, you know, like I've never felt old. I just put it like that. You know what I mean? You want to have stamina your whole life, B. You know.
Okay.
Like when you know, you want to be able to, you know,
Yeah.
touch the rim,
I
so
want
to
to
speak.
know.
Yeah.
I want to know the
You know
workout
what I mean?
plan.
Yeah.
You want to be able to reach the rim.
Yeah.
You don't want to have no problem. So
Yeah.
you got
What's-
to take care
What you
of
said, JoJo?
What's the workout plan? What does it look like? You go in
My
the gym
workout-
and then you boom.
I minimum 4 to 5 times a week, and I work mostly on stamina. I lift, but I don't lift super duper heavy relative to my size. Relatively speaking, I don't go super heavy. I do shoulders, I do chest. I make sure that I elevate my heart rate. I do the steps. I do sprints on the treadmill. I do the elliptical. It depends on I listen to my body. If my elbow feels funny, okay, I'll leave that alone. If something ain't, feeling right, I'll move into something else. I just always exercise. And you want stamina. Stamina is key in life. Stamina is key, man.
I always
You know what
wanted to
I'm
ask you this
That's so
too.
tough. I'd be
What do you
tired.
enjoy more? Do you enjoy movies and television? Because you're a natural at that, man.
Not
Hosting.
more than music. Music
Okay.
is my first love. Music put me in position to do all that stuff. I love it and I'm grateful I can do it. And you should never limit yourself. And if you have more than one talent, you should use them all. You know what I'm saying? But music's my first
Because
love.
is it NCIS? Or
I did
right?
NCIS. I
Yeah,
did
man.
it for 15 years.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, 15
Did you have a lot of friends that were peers of yours in the music business that the more they see you evolve and they kind of was stuck on the music, did you get like a lot of jealousy, like frenemies when people was like, man, he like doing, like he's still going and we trying to figure it out? You laughing because
Well, I'm laughing
Don't call
because,
him out.
the music industry in general and entertainment is full of co-opetition. Because that's what you're talking about. Frenemy. It's not as much frenemy as it is co-opetition. So yeah, you deal with some of that. But my job is to show people what's possible. I'm just showing dudes and showing people that, yo, you could keep going at a high level. It's like you see Bron playing in his 21st year. I'm doing that in music years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just showing people what's possible. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fun thing about it. You know, just showing them what's possible. And if you do catch a little bit of that hate and all that, I mean, whatever, B. Like, you know, what we gonna do? We gonna, you know, go home and, you know, practice the violin and sob because somebody's upset with your success? I don't think so, bro. Hold that, man. Yeah. You know, how's that working out for you? You hating? Oh, how's that working out for you? You know what I mean?
Do you still feel like that hip hop needs to have a retirement plan? I seen, you know, that was going viral. Where you were talking about there needs to be some type of retirement plan for hip hop artists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, I mean, that's a two-sided question. First of all, artists you can't retire from art. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what that means. Okay, and you know, hip hop and being what I do and creating, it becomes a source of income, but it's not a job. It's a life, and it. You know, when you're an artist, you're an artist. That's what you are. You paint, you sculpt. You direct, you write films, like you are what you are. Like, so there is no retirement from that. That's a lifelong commitment if you're really that. The other thing I want to say before I answer is that, you know, I'm very comfortable with somebody looking at me and saying he's a rapper, he's an MC. You don't have to say nothing else about nothing else, and I'm good with that.
Okay.
I don't need to, like I'm not gonna undermine a craft that has changed the world by cheapening it and saying like, oh, I have to do other things to validate my existence because this ain't enough. That's bullshit. This is enough. Hip hop is enough.
Thank you for
You know what I'm
saying
saying? Like,
Yeah.
I started Def Jam. You know, I came up with the term GOAT. Do
you have any stock? Do you have any ownership in
I
Def
owned a
Jam?
piece of Def Jam early on, but the thing is, it's, you know, there's two parts of that conversation too, right? Okay. Like, yeah, I'm doing great.
Okay.
But that's not really the what it is what we get caught up in sometimes is, and that's the one thing about the new generation that's very interesting. And you got to be able to make the fine distinction. What Miles Davis did for music has nothing to do with his bank account. Don't make those things the same. That's a big mistake. There's nothing wrong with monetization. You should capitalize. You should maximize. You should optimize everything you're doing. But don't get it twisted. You can make a cultural impact and not necessarily monetize it. The Wright brothers ain't make no money for cracking the code on the plane.
Facts.
You dig? Like, but they impacted the world. So like, I get it, but they're kind of separate, right? Okay, so, and then what was the first part of the question you had asked? Just that first part, because we went off on a tangent.
Which one? The one I asked or Ferrari asked?
No, the Ferrari asked.
Oh, about Def Jam.
About the stock?
About the stock in Def Jam.
No, before that.
It was before that. Yeah, he don't know.
I don't know. It might have been me.
Man, you dropping so many gems.
Yeah, you are.
But I was
just listening to you talk.
Yeah,
I just listening. Yeah.
Facts.
yeah, but it's just like bottom line is it was like the two sides of it, the money and the music and the.
Oh, you was talking about like you don't like how the new generation is trying to kind of base people's success based on the money in their account.
Yeah, that's that's a slippery slope.
Okay.
Right? That's a slippery slope because that's not, it doesn't matter how much money Prince had, bro.
Say less.
That's a different skill set.
Yeah.
And it's important.
Yeah.
I'm not, bro, like, you see her shirt right there? That shirt you have on right there, that paid in full shirt, the real guys in that movie, I hung with them every day from age 17 to 20. The real guys. Like the real, the real Alpo and the real Rich Porter, and not Rico, Alpo,
Right.
and the real Rich Porter and the real AZ. Those are my friends.
Damn.
So what I'm saying is, like,
How accurate was that movie?
huh?
How
accurate was that movie?
It was fairly accurate.
Okay.
It was fairly accurate.
Thank
It was
you.
on,
I
it
always
was
wanted to ask
fairly
somebody who
accurate
knew
because, it was fairly,
Okay.
fairly.
Okay.
It was some changes made to it that I'm sure AZ would feel but it was fair. It was some parts of it that it was real. Like the impact on the culture in Harlem at the time was all that. It was probably even more impactful if you lived it, seeing it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So we all of us in this room, we know that you are a legend. And I just want to know, what do you want your legacy to be?
So, you know what's funny? Nobody gets to correct their tombstone. You don't know what your legacy is going to be. And why do we know that? Because if I put this bottle of water on the internet and say it's a bottle of water, somebody's going to, oh, it's actually a plastic thing with a, oh, actually it could be vodka. It could be gin. Like they're going to beef about this, right? So I don't worry about legacy. It's about being in the moment. It's about just planting the seeds. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, man. Apple tree keep growing apples till it's finished, man. Orange keep growing oranges till it's finished. Like all that legacy, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's gonna remember me for something different. You know what I mean? What I wanna do is, I just wanna do dope shit and do cool shit my entire life and show people that it's possible and that dreams don't have deadlines and you can keep getting it and keep having fun. And that's because see, that's the thing that people, like, that's the one thing we got to remember. Everybody's so focused on getting the money, and the money comes. It does. It really does, if you're great at what you do. But are you having fun?
Yeah.
Like, are you having fun? I don't ever hear, like, the reason I started getting into rhyming and MCing and hip hop is to have fucking fun.
Yeah.
To have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only reason you want money is to have fun. Like, people forget that. You don't want money to, like, the craziest thing is the only reason you want money is to have fun. That's the only reason. Like, you want to have fun and take care of you. Because even taking care of certain people is fun. Right? Like, even being there for your mama is fun. Being there for different people
That's
is
where Tricky
fun.
came
So
from.
it's like, so we can't get caught up in, like, just money, leading with your wallet. It's like, yeah, okay, we're going to get that. Okay, prime example, like with the music, right? Listen. A rapper, he comes out, he's talking that money talk. You love it. 12 years later, he's still talking that money talk. Now you're looking at it like, dude, do you have anything else to talk about? Like, my God, please. Just could you put a black t-shirt on and talk about, take your fucking necklace off, talk anything. Please, bro. Like, yo,
I appreciate
like,
that.
did anything happen recently that you care about a little bit? Right? So so that's what we got to remember. Because you know what? All of us sitting here, we different generations, but I bet you know Bob Marley.
Sure do.
You goddamn right you do.
Sure do. I just watched this movie on the plane last week.
You see that?
Amazing movie.
And you know why you because he talked about something.
Yeah.
Because he had something to say. And guess what?
Love, freedom.
Yeah, and you don't care what Bob Marley had in the bank.
Facts.
Facts.
He might have died with $500,000. Do you care?
No.
And because that's not the metric for success. It is the metric for financial success, but it's not the metric for cultural success. Bob Marley did not have to be rich. He was rich in what he did and what he created and what he put in the world. You know what I'm saying? That shit matters, B. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to somebody earlier. That's why I said, like, you got these dudes, the first thing they want to do, they want to leave with their wallet. You know what I'm saying? But homie, the wallet can't uncorny you.
Facts. Well,
it can't uncorn
where my
you.
camera?
A wallet can't,
Where my camera?
it could get you access to somebody who wants access to that wallet.
Facts,
we know what that is.
Facts.
But that's a different conversation. Is what it is.
Right.
Maybe you're comfortable with that, great. But I'm just saying it can't uncorny you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
that's kind of
Now,
what's happening.
you have anything, JoJo, before we wrap?
No, that was me. I was gonna say I appreciate. Oh,
I ain't even on this. This is something they didn't touch on, but I watched it happen. The FUBU commercial,
Yeah.
iconic. Nobody was on that, and you took a chance for a Gap commercial to where FUBU.
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
So I'll talk about it. So he's talking about a long time ago. there was a Damon John who's on the Shark Tank. Mm-hmm. Him and Keith and some other guys, they started a clothing line called FUBU, For Us By Us.
For Us By Us, yeah.
I'm one of the owners of FUBU. We did that in what was it, 90s? I don't know, 90 something. So it did well, it blew up. But one of the things I did was I had to do a Gap commercial. I wore a FUBU hat in the Gap commercial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, and now the thinking was, yo, you know what? Bottom line is, this is not gonna hurt them. They got $1 trillion, and it's gonna help my homies, and it's gonna help us.
Yeah.
And so I just made that decision. Listen, we read it in mythology all the time. The Trojan horse, we know about this. The Troy, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, like, listen, man, in life, you gotta be aggressive, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go get that thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, of course. Oh yeah, for us, by us, on the low. Yeah. Gotcha. Surprise, surprise.
We'll be
Right.
dropping
Yeah,
gems.
yeah.
Did you plan that?
Yes.
That's fire.
Yes, I absolutely planned.
So
That's
it's
why I
planned
was
for
in the
you to-
verse. Yeah, 100%.
So it was planned for you to do the commercial and say, I'm wearing our...
I planned to do it.
Yeah,
I didn't tell them I was planning
he
to
just
do it.
showed up.
So they didn't know that...
No.
Nah.
They didn't know what kind of hat it was either.
No,
huh?
they said, well, you know, we can't wear this hat because it's not a, you know,
Gap.
it's not,
It's not
no,
gap.
it's not, you don't have a clearance. I said, oh, don't worry about it, I own it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
That was the
fire.
extent of the infamy.
But to your point, you knew you were doing something for a bigger company, but then you put your homeboys on something.
Of course. Of course. Listen, of course. 100%. Like I put, like DMX's first record, well, not his first record, but his first joint that, you know, we put him out there. That was on my 4321 song. I introduced DMX to the world. And you know, and on I Shot Ya, introduced Foxy Brown to the world and put, you know, Damon John in them on. And we started Def Jam, right? And then, you know, you introduced the term GOAT to the world. And, you know, like, and then now I'm just telling you all the different things. Like, and like, you know, like Bill Clinton's inauguration, like I was the first rap artist, I rapped at the inaugurations and, you know, like all of these different things, like all of that only happens because I really love to get into that notebook and write them rhymes. LeBron's life only happens because he loves bouncing that ball. Yo, you gotta love, like, man, everybody wants to pop champagne in the locker room. You gotta love it first.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you got to win.
You gotta win. You
Gotta
got
win.
and you gotta define what winning is for you, what that means to you, too. Because, you know, like I'm not gonna look at my stream and look at this guy's stream, and if he has, I have to look at, okay, where am I coming from, you know, and where am I going, and I have to look at my life. It's like in some certain sense, you gotta play against yourself too.
Yep.
You know, you can't get too caught up in that because, you know, as human beings, we have a tendency to focus on anything that we think is doing better than us. And that can make you start sliding and get you in a negative space. So you can't do that.
And it can make you think you're not progressing either.
Exactly. And that creates a feeling which attracts more of that same shit
Facts.
over and over again. So you get stuck.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah.
All right, so before we get out of here, we got something called a pep talk where you look at the camera and you give them some words of motivation.
Okay.
And now we have a time for LL Cool J's pep talk.
All right. I would say the pep talk would be, you can do anything you put your mind to. These are facts. The key though is that you got to be open to receiving what it is you want to do, and you really got to put yourself in a space of gratitude and go for it wholeheartedly. And you can't. And the other thing I would say is that in order to be a winner, you have to be comfortable with the idea that you might lose. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't win if you're afraid to lose. You dig? So.
And before you do that, we have something for you.
Man.
Your abs are going to be gone if there's some more
No.
cupcakes.
Okay, so this is from 96.1 The Beat and Duncan. And we just wanted to give you this.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Just leave it right there. Oh, you gonna open it for me? Oh, wow. Oh, that's crazy. And whose stuff is this?
That's from Duncan.
Duncan?
From Duncan to you.
That's flavorful.
That's fire.
Oh, okay. That was a smart move.
He showed did.
Look at that.
Everybody
Got their
hats
logo
now.
all over me. That's some slick shit. I got something for you. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. It's
Did you
dope,
make
though.
the donuts? Very good. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you.